podcast. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. Daniel, how are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
All right.
All right. Thanks to our audience. Welcome back.
There we go.
Much deserved. Kind of a low bar for the applause, right? Okay, so what do we want to cover today? What's on the agenda?
We have a lot of things to talk about today.
It's been a busy day. You know.
Oh, yes. It's
Busy
been
night.
a busy night.
Okay.
Trump is called the COVID Trump now.
COVID Trump?
Instead of Bone Spurs Trump.
That's right. Another name. He likes names, right? He likes nicknames.
Yeah, he likes his nicknames, yes.
Yeah, looks like a few people have contracted COVID. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
That's true. We don't know how many other people who were in contact with the president. Could be quite a few. I watched a video with Chris Christie. He said during debate prep there were several people in a small room and no one was wearing masks. So
Does that mean he has it too?
it's possible. It's possible other senators have it. And I was reading it could derail the SCOTUS nomination. So
I kind of doubt that.
yeah.
I think they're going to come up with another way to ram this through, you know. They're just not going to let it go.
Well, they're fairly industrious when it comes to things like that, so they shouldn't have any problem doing it. Yeah, that's the news today. The big news, anyway. We'll see what happens. I hear he's experiencing mild symptoms right now. That's from his doctor.
Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which, that could mean anything. But we'll follow up, see what's happening.
Did he feel any symptoms before the debate?
It's not clear. Not clear at all. We don't know, so we'll have to wait and see. But he was criticizing Biden wearing masks during the debate.
Yes,
He was doing that.
He likes to wear masks so much that he's always wearing it.
I think he said that like the biggest mask ever, the largest mask you can imagine.
Yeah.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will.
And then again, he doesn't have COVID, and Trump does. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, at least we'll get one old guy.
Yeah. Some other news. Maybe you saw the story of Melania disparaging Christmas. Did you see this story?
No, I did not.
Her former assistant released the tapes of Melania being the victim. Right? The expectation for her is so high, and she's complaining about people. I guess them complaining about the migrant children in the camps or the in prison, or what do you want to call it? And she said, "Who cares about that? What about me? What about what I'm going through?" So.
Well, of course. I mean, you have to be worried about yourself only.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's what it is.
I mean, you are your number one fan. So.
Yeah. So, she's complaining about having to decorate for Christmas in the White House. Yeah. And someone said that's the war on Christmas. That's you want to hear? It's coming straight from the White House. Right? That's where it is. So I thought that was interesting. I'm not surprised, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of hard work.
Yeah.
To decorate the White House. I mean, give some ideas. I mean,
it's a lot of responsibility.
Who can do that?
Who can do that? I mean, who can? So, yeah, those are a couple of things I've seen. What do you got?
Well, we talked about a debate. He's talking about wearing masks. He also talked about healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
That Biden had 47 years to come up with something, and he did not.
Did he actually bring that up in the debate? Or I thought he was supposed to say that, but he didn't say it. Or did he?
Yeah, he said you've been in government basically for 47 years, and what have you accomplished? Nothing. I have done more in 47 months than you have in 47 years.
You were a senator. And
You're the worst president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just tell you, Joe, I've done more in 47 months. I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe.
Healthcare?
A lot of other issues. I mean, healthcare was one of them. You know,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Was there a follow up to the healthcare or the 47 years?
You know, he interrupted so many times that even Biden forgot what he was saying.
Yeah, it feels like that got lost somewhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big story. That's why I'm asking.
No.
I guess I didn't follow it as well, but that's a fair critique.
Yeah,
And that's fair critique.
he did bring up 94 crime bill.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I mean, he made some fair points.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, 94 crime bill was one of them. Also, him not being smart. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's
I don't know if that's an insult or it's just, you know, he was telling the truth. I don't know. So.
Most likely the truth. So, yeah, I think he said don't talk about smart.
Going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
So-
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years, you've done
Well, let's
nothing.
add-
Right, to
Yeah,
me, or
yeah.
because he's the stable genius.
He's the stable genius.
He's the
yeah.
arbiter of what smart is, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, that's interesting too. Yeah, that's yeah. There couldn't have been much follow up because he was interrupting so much. If you could have hammered that point more, it'd have been more effective. But he was all over the place. Clearly, he prepped, right?
Oh yes.
And that's what Chris Christie said. There was a debate prep for several days, but kind of it flew out the window when he gets on the stage. He thinks he's at a rally. That's why.
Yeah.
And there's no one else speaking except him. So
Yeah, he sounded like he was just talking to his base.
yeah,
I mean,
and I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
You know, they like that he came out strong. And we have speaking of his base, the Proud Boys. A lot of their people are running for Congress. You see the story?
no.
And they said, we're running for Congress, and you're not going to know who we are. So you'll be voting for us without knowing who we are.
Well, we already know that.
We already know that.
I mean, all you have to do is, join the Republican Party.
Yeah.
I mean, the Republican Party has become a cult type of stuff.
It has, under this president.
Yeah.
Certainly, more than I've seen in the past. Because this is more personality-based than anything else, right? We didn't see that with Bush, and just didn't have it. But Trump has the charisma, and is willing to accept every sub, I don't want to say sub, but every type of person of questionable character, in his party, without criticism.
Yes. I mean, that's what Republican Party has become. Has become a cult-like organization. They believe in 4 or 5 things, and they keep repeating those things.
Hammer it home, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's a effective technique, right? It
Yeah.
works. I mean, our attention span is not so great that we can accommodate dozens of ideas. 4 or 5 things is probably it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 or 5 things. They're about 4 or 5 words, sentences, and they
Simplicity.
keep on repeating it over and over and over. So, I mean,
Yeah, and it works.
it works.
It works.
Brings out the base.
It brings out. Yeah. Well, we'll see this time what happens, but it's looking like might be pretty good. I think Democrats are winning on the early mail-in ballots.
Well, we know that. I mean, the people that are going to mail in the ballots, they are afraid of getting infected anyway. They really believe this COVID-19 thing is real.
They have a rational fear. Right?
Yes.
A rational concern.
Yeah.
Unlike the other side, which is
I mean, they're concerned about themselves and other people.
yeah,
So,
a little empathy, right?
yeah.
Maybe that's also what it's lacking on the other side, empathy. Clearly, from what we just saw today, the infections, not concerned about other people.
No.
No masks during debate prep. That's interesting.
Did they didn't even test those people when they were in there with the president? I thought they were going to test everybody.
Maybe they did. We don't know where he got it, right? We don't know.
Yeah.
So
it could be Alabama.
it could be. It could be.
Wasn't he there?
I don't remember where he was. Didn't you have somebody in Alabama, or is he from Mississippi? Who is this? The singer.
The singer is from Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't want to give him any kind of a shout out here.
Our Buddy Brown guy.
Buddy Brown, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Staunch, loyal Republican Trump supporter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a real American.
Real American. Yeah.
Red-blooded American. Did you see the video of Sarah Palin?
No, I did not.
She made a video criticizing Murkowski. She's saying, if you don't vote for this nominee, SCOTUS, then I'll do it. It's a very strange video. You should watch it. Very strange camera angles, cuts here and there. She seemed a little, I don't know.
How's she going to vote?
Who?
Sarah Palin.
Well, she's not in office. She just wants Lisa Murkowski's job. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she goes, if you don't do it, then leave and I'll do it. It's a very strange video. She kept pointing at her house, saying, "This is my house. This is my house." I don't know. I think the point is she'd be willing to give it up to go run for Senate.
I think she just wants to be relevant again.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a long time ago, wasn't it? I think her ship has sailed.
I think she's still looking at Russia from her house.
I think that her level of crazy has been surpassed, so she's no longer something to
she's the mainstream now.
Yeah, now she's mainstream. Yeah, and Trump is the kind of the outlier, I guess, or he's the mouthpiece of the extremist views. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see in the next couple of weeks. At least he'll be off the campaign trail for a couple of weeks.
He's going to have to get out. Yeah. I mean, I think he's quarantined.
Mm-hmm. He's quarantined.
Wow.
So this will be interesting. I'm sure he'll be tweeting. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that'll be his campaign.
I mean, he probably wanted it. He just wants to sit in front of TV and watch Fox News all day.
It's a great excuse, right?
Yeah.
Let my pink take care of everything else.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't do anything anyway. I mean,
that's a very good point.
He doesn't come down to the White House, until noon?
Well, I hear he's the hardest working president. That's what I hear.
He is?
Yeah, that's what I hear from his people. No one's ever worked so hard.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, it is kind of hard work to put on that long time.
It is. Yeah, that's much too long for even for as tall as he is. Fix his hair every morning.
That's a lot of work. That's $70,000 work.
Yes, a lot of money in hair products. So it's a lot of either work or products or whatever.
He's destroying ozone layer by himself.
If you look over the White House, you'll see a hole of the ozone concentrated on his location. So that's the COVID news. Cases are still increasing. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that is where do we sit right now on infection rate?
Well, let's find out. Worldwide, U.S.
Let's see here.
Yeah. It certainly is increasing. I don't know I think there are 31 states that are seeing increases right now, and no signs of it abating. So.
Well, isn't Europe in second wave right now?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Wow. I mean, it's not even winter yet, and we are already in second wave. So, and United States still in first wave.
I was going to say we're still in the first wave. It never. So yeah, what do the numbers look like?
Trying to find out here. Let's see. Dates are.
Yeah, probably the CDC has it if you trust the experts.
Well, who can trust Dr. Fauci?
I mean, there's always a room for skepticism.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we need to...
well, we're still at 174 per 100,000 hospitalization rate.
Mm-hmm.
And 472 per 100,000 infections rate. So we're pretty close, man.
What's our total number of? We have death count and.
Let's see here. What do we have? What do we? September 19, 2,029,000.
2,029,000. Is
That's
that worldwide?
test results reported. Yeah. Summary of lab results reported to CDC is 2,029,000. And
Interesting.
number of positive is what, 96,000? I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm seeing here 207,000 total deaths in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the
2 million is the test positive, I guess.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking worldwide. Looks like 34 million confirmed cases worldwide.
Yeah.
1 million deaths. 23 million recovered. 24 million. Yeah, pretty staggering numbers. I mean, you would have thought it would have slowed down by now because most countries are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Seem to be.
I mean, Finland, New Zealand, Australia has pretty much has it under control.
You have to have a willing population too, a considerate population, an empathetic population, right?
Well, first of all, you have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you're not gonna.
It's always a challenge.
You're not gonna do what needs to be done.
No. You better believe it's not fake news.
Yeah, I mean, people say that all these people were gonna die anyway because they had cancer or they had other type of disease,
Yeah.
and they're just blaming it on COVID-19 because they were sick, and this is the conversation I was having, with people that yeah, they may die of COVID. I mean, they were probably dying of cancer or other related disease, but the real cause was at a time was COVID-19.
It's only accelerated.
Yeah.
The analogy I heard was that if you get, suppose you get shot, right? Somebody shoots you, and they say, "Well, the gun didn't kill you; bleeding out killed you." Right? It's like it's one of those kind of things. Yeah, the COVID is definitely it accelerates whatever's wrong with you.
I mean, you can go even further. It wasn't the gun; it was the bullet.
It was a bullet, yeah.
I mean, we should ban bullets.
We should ban bullets.
Yeah.
There was a joke Chris Rock said one time: you don't need gun control; you need bullet control. Make bullets $5,000 a piece, and no one you might think twice before you shoot somebody.
I mean, that is a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. So, but you see that a lot. You see that because I think the CDC released a report that said there were in most of the cases there were underlying issues, but they didn't say that's not why they died though. They're still saying that COVID is the reason that those issues exacerbated the infection. So. I think people misread the report, probably intentionally, or maybe not.
I mean, they're just trying to find excuses and find other reasons that these numbers are not correct because they don't want to believe in it.
Yeah, we saw it early on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and the flu is worse, right? More people die of the flu every year.
Yeah,
that's what we heard over and over again. The same refrain.
I mean, more people die in car accidents every year. So I mean, what do we do?
Yeah. Exactly. It's an interesting argument. Unnecessary though.
Yeah.
And pandemics happen. Viruses exist. It's nothing to discount for political reasons.
Yeah. I mean, they try to justify things that they say. Well, people die of during fist fights or during knife attack, but. Yeah. I mean, how many can you kill with a knife attack or with a fist?
Yeah.
With a AR-15, you can take out 50 people while you're gonna punch maybe one or two.
We saw it in the shooting in Florida at the bar.
Yeah.
saw it in Nevada, right? I'm not sure what kind of guns he had, but you can kill a lot of people very quickly before anybody can stop you. So it's not the analogy is not the same. It's not really even close. But that's what they say. You're gonna ban knives. You're gonna ban cars. Well, no, it's not an epidemic of people killing each other with cars.
I mean, there are other uses of knives and cars.
And guns are pretty specific.
Yeah, I mean, there is only one reason for a gun.
Especially a gun like that.
Yeah.
It's a weapon of war. It's made for warfare.
There is no other reason for you to have a gun but to, kill.
It makes you feel strong.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lonely.
Yeah.
Maybe you take it with you at night.
Well,
sleep.
Deers usually don't come at you with. They don't have a gun, so.
They have horns, AJ.
Yeah.
They're bringing horns to a gunfight. You gotta be very careful with that. I was thinking earlier about back to the president. He was taking hydroxychloroquine. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was on that, and he still got COVID. So I don't know. Should probably put that to rest, right?
Is he still taking it?
I don't know, but he was on a regimen of it, and he was very proud of it. Just tweeting about it, because he was sure it would prevent COVID, and apparently not. Apparently not. So there goes that. And of course, doctors are still saying don't use it, to treat COVID. Don't. But that's not relevant to the pundits or the president. So.
Well, that's good. Their guy has the COVID-19 now, so maybe they will believe it.
Well, we'll see.
They believe everything that comes out of his mouth anyway. So.
I mean, we'll see. It actually might, give credibility to the narrative that it's not that bad if he recovers with no symptoms. He just recovers very quickly, and they'll say, "Well, we told you, it's not as bad as the flu."
I mean,
they'll find a way to spin it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they will find a way. Plus, the treatment is getting better anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, not as many people are dying. Not as many people are going on ventilators now.
Sure.
So
the odds are in his favor.
The odds are in, yeah.
Even though he is 74 and technically he's obese.
We don't wish for a president to die.
No, that's what they do.
Secret Service, we're letting you know.
Well, even though it wouldn't be us. You have to arrest COVID. That's the Congress, the guy running for Congress in California. He wishes death on these guys, Biden and Trump. But
he doesn't like Biden either, huh?
No, he's an independent, and he's wishing that they both die of COVID.
So I guess him and I are something in common.
Something in common. Although I'm pretty sure he's probably going to swing a little right. I would assume, but I don't know. Independent in California, I don't know what that even means, but.
That's almost going to libertarian in California.
Yikes.
Where in Texas you are just a regular Joe or maybe a regular Republican.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, a libertarian in California, probably not the right place for him.
No.
Probably not the right place.
Well, then again, I mean, California is also, it's just like any other state. I mean, you go to certain parts, it's red as can be.
Yeah. There are always pockets, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just like in red states, you have pockets of blue.
Yeah.
The big cities are blue, so.
Yeah. I mean, Texas, we have every election year we see 2-3 blue dots, and then the whole house red. I mean.
And yet those 2 or 3 blue dots, they're closer and closer every year to creating a victory for Democrats. So we'll see.
Because the population is increasing in those cities.
Yeah. Yeah, the rural areas
you see Dallas as being blue and
Austin,
Houston, and then you see Houston down there, and then all along the border, Mexico, it's all blue.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. The rural areas are being pretty much wiped out. They're disappearing. They're moving into the cities and suburbs, and
I wonder why. Is it because their friends are not providing anything for them?
Their friends. It could be. That could be what it is. Yeah, they're just drying up.
They don't have internet,
No.
high-speed internet.
It has an effect. Yeah. Modernization. It's escaped the rural areas.
I mean, this summer we went to a couple of state parks with my kids, and in parts, driving through, some of the parts of Texas, there was no cell signal at all. I mean, there was nothing. It was just saying no service.
It's unconscionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 21st century that there's no service. I suspect if you go to other countries, it's not like that. If you go to Japan or a place in Europe. We were in Iceland.
But we're number one. USA. USA.
All day. We were in Iceland driving around, and we were out in the countryside, right? No city. We had signal the entire way. We traveled around the entire country. We never lost signal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
not
here.
Not interior Texas. I mean, during the stay when we were in the state park, there was no signal at all. I mean, why?
What's the excuse for that, right?
Yeah.
How do you justify that in a state, especially as wealthy as Texas?
Yep.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's not a priority, I suppose.
No. I mean,
drill, AJ. We're
drill,
drilling.
baby, drill.
That is our only purpose here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. They're not taking it seriously.
I mean, it's because the priority is giving to tax cuts, giving money to, oil companies, these dinosaurs. I mean, we already know these things are dying.
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear ExxonMobil is thinking about cutting dividend?
That's bold move.
I mean, there was a time when they were reporting 13, 14, 15 billion dollars a quarter of profit. Right. What happened to all that money? Where did it go?
Well, I blame Elon Musk. That's the future, right? The writing's on the wall, and we all know it. It's a matter of time.
And this pandemic has accelerated some of those things.
Yeah.
For some reason, I mean, you look at it, people are driving less, so less oil is being used. So
it affects the price.
Yeah, I mean, it affects the price. People found out that they really don't have to drive that much anymore. Look at office buildings; they're empty.
Right. They're empty. I mean, look at our office building.
Yeah.
During the day, there's not many people there.
There's nobody there, and the company is still running.
Just fine.
Yeah.
They're still recording profits.
Yeah.
Right? Profit sharing is still
there.
It is.
Yeah.
So this will be the new normal for sure.
Yeah.
Although I was reading an article this morning about a manager whose employees work from home. He actually monitors their computers at home, and he'll take screenshots from his location, see what they're doing. And I was thinking, well, that's interesting, but maybe they have a laptop over here or an iPad. Are you going to get screenshots of that too? So, I mean, it doesn't work, obviously, that monitoring. It works on the main computer, sure, but any other device you have, it's not going to be monitored.
I mean, I don't know why they want to monitor, because they can see their progress. If they're doing their work, the work is getting done, then they're doing their job.
Yeah.
Monitor is for 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't need if you have to manage adults or 25 plus. I mean, there's a problem there.
There's a problem, and it's really with you.
Yeah.
The problem. You're micromanaging is what it is.
Yeah.
Exerting too much control. Trust your people, right?
Trust your people to do the job. Yeah.
And you'll know.
You'll find out. Yeah, I mean, numbers will show, and numbers don't lie.
Yeah. If you see a drop, then maybe you start doing something like that. But
unless you're a Republican, then numbers lie all the time.
Numbers lie all the time. Yeah, they cannot be trusted.
I mean, how does waves come in?
Oh, how do the waves come in? And you can't explain that. Okay.
You can't. I mean.
Shout out to Bill O'Reilly.
Science cannot explain that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to our good old friend,
I think
Bill
he's in a
O'Reilly?
basement somewhere. He's in a basement doing his little podcast or whatever he does.
Oh, he's copying us?
Oh, it's copying us.
Wow.
Clearly, it's the right format. Just not as entertaining. You know, I did see an episode or two, or a few minutes of an episode.
Oh man,
He's
you're
lost
not
his
gonna
step.
get your 45 minutes back.
Well,
Your life.
I wouldn't go maybe 4 to 5 minutes. I wouldn't say 45, but he's lost his step for sure. I don't. Does he still say? What does he say? The loony left. What's his name for the left? Left wing loons, or is it something
Wow,
like that?
I can't remember. He's been gone so long. I can't even remember.
You mean he's been irrelevant so long?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard much out of O'Reilly. I thought he was going to some other station.
He was gonna go with the
One American
I think
News.
Glenn Beck thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was gonna go. Well, he was gonna do the same type of show that Glenn Beck does, but
Well, Glenn Beck does well.
is he? I thought he was filing for bankruptcy. Is he making a comeback now?
Oh, you know what? You're right. He was going to file for bankruptcy. He may have found investors. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't keep up with him either.
I mean, he was losing viewership and listeners because he was criticizing Trump.
He was, but then he quickly
Yeah,
made an about face. And,
he quickly turned. So
before and during the campaign, he was criticizing. And that was interesting, wasn't it?
it's funny how money makes you, just abandon your principles.
Yeah, that was interesting to see that because nothing changed. If you could almost say that if Trump had pivoted to a more, I don't know, professional demeanor, but he didn't. He remained the same person he was in the campaign, and yet Glenn Beck somehow found common ground.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
I mean, that's one thing you have to give to Trump is he never changed. I mean, during campaign, he talked with a New York accent. He didn't go to Alabama or Mississippi and change his accent.
No.
He came with the same Brooklyn accent.
He didn't do it.
No.
Did he ever go to a diner and eat with anybody, like everyone else does?
No, he didn't. He didn't go to a diner. He didn't go to any of the homeless shelters. He didn't put on a hunting jacket like John Kerry.
He's never in the White House put a Santa hat on like Obama did.
No. He has never put on a tan suit either.
Does he pardon turkeys? Has he? It's hard to imagine.
He's pardoned a couple of Big Macs, that's for sure.
He certainly pardoned some of his indicted whatever employees. Who was it?
What's his name? Sheriff Arpaio?
Yeah, Arpaio. That's yeah. So he hasn't gotten Michael Flynn, has he?
No, because Michael Flynn is not sentenced or convicted yet.
Okay.
What's his name? That was that guy, that older
Paul Manafort?
Paul Manafort's still in jail. I'm surprised he has not pardoned him.
Michael Cohen's out?
Michael Cohen is out.
That was out for COVID, right?
Yeah, that was the COVID reason.
Yeah.
They let him out. They didn't want to keep him.
Certainly Trump wouldn't pardon him or even try to.
No.
He could.
No.
I think they're over. They're finished, right? They're done with each other.
No, he's going around and making his rounds. I think he's about to come out with a book.
I think so. I think he expects him to go to prison. The family.
Well, if not prison, I mean they will be out of their Trump tower because he thinks he won't be able to pay his bills. I mean, he was living off of his apprentice salary basically.
Yeah. Didn't seem. Now of course if you liquidate his assets, could be okay. Sells his hotels and.
Well, the thing is, he sells his hotels or his buildings. He's gonna have to pay Uncle Sam taxes on that profit. So
Yes,
if he, let's say, his building sells for $500 billion, whatever. I don't know how much he's gonna sell, but 50% of that money is gonna go to Uncle Sam. He's still gonna be in a hole after that.
He might need government assistance. Well, he'll always have his presidential salary,
Yeah, he's donating that right now, but
Yeah.
He's gonna want to keep it after that.
Well, he can always come move to Texas. It's pretty cheap to live here, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll. I don't think he's gonna go to jail. Uh, they just won't put an ex-president in jail.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Well,
They
okay.
might just slap him with a fine or something, or not even that, and they'll just say, we just didn't find enough evidence.
Yeah, that could be what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. New York is New York, and they don't like him. So maybe you'll have a overzealous prosecutor. It's hard to say. I mean, what kind of name would you make for yourself indicting a former president? And what would that be? You'd be a rock star.
Yeah. I mean, just like that governor from New York. What's his name? The bald guy that got caught with the prostitutes.
Elliot Spitzer.
Yeah, Elliot Spitzer. I mean, that was a tragedy, man.
That was unfortunate. That was one of
Yeah.
those. It's one of those people you don't see very often.
No.
It's kind of a rarity. That kind of intellect and the communication ability.
Yeah.
What he could have done, right? Reign in Wall Street.
Yeah.
When did he? Let's see. When did he resign? Do you remember what year that was?
I don't remember. I believe it was 13 or 14. But I'm not sure.
Neither am I. That's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal, but yeah, that was one of those.
I mean, I thought no, actually,
I
it
thought
was
before that. But
I think it was before that. I think it was even before Obama became president.
because the thing we were thinking about, he would have
Yeah.
been. Yeah. So I think he might have been able to rein in Wall Street. I think he would have wanted to.
Yeah.
It's regulatory.
Yeah, I think Bush was still in office at that time.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
We thought he was going to be the next presidential candidate for Democrats.
Like he was grooming, or they were
Yeah.
grooming him for it. He
Yeah,
was
he
Attorney
was-
General. He was governor.
Yeah.
I mean, his star was on the rise.
I mean, he was going up, and I mean, it was just when I heard that news, I was like, wow. I mean, this is a loss.
I mean, I try to imagine, not that they're that consequential, but debates. A debate with Elliot Spitzer, it would have been
Yeah.
extraordinary. It would have been something like,
Yeah.
yeah, he would have controlled the room.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who.
He would have destroyed him.
Yeah, yeah,
I think even with Obama, it would have been very good.
yeah. And he was a much faster, I guess, thinker, I suppose, and he was like he could formulate thoughts much quicker than because Obama was a very deliberate thinker. He just stop and he'll think for a while and ruminate and then he'll speak slowly. And Elliot Spitzer was like I don't know, he was like a force of nature when he spoke.
Yeah.
It's very just intimidating. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I think his politics career is over.
Yeah, he's done.
I think he ran for comptroller. And
He lost that too.
Yeah.
It was I mean that was why would you go from governor to comptroller anyway?
He's trying to work his way back up.
I mean, I think that's
He's trying to-
basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that was that, and who knows? We might have avoided the financial crisis if he'd been in office. Well, no, we wouldn't have.
No, I mean it was
That was
already.
after- yeah, Bush was already in office, yeah. Well, if he'd have been instead of Bush.
Yeah, if it was Al Gore, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I'm sure we would not have been in Iraq.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
May have gone after Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan, but not in Iraq.
No.
That's for sure.
That was a fool's errand.
Yeah.
What did John Kerry say about people who go to Iraq? He was making a joke about it. Like when you don't do well in school, you end up in Iraq or something. he took a lot of heat for that one, trying to say that dumb people go. That was what they thought he meant, but
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets Democrats in trouble.
Yeah.
Because even though they probably do think that,
yeah,
we just don't. Just like Hillary said, those are deplorable people.
well, we're gonna edit that out. Can we say that on the air? Yeah, obviously it's people think that. I mean, I think that. But I'm not a politician, so, and I'm not running for office.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, I mean, she said the quiet part out loud. You know, it's one of those things you just gotta.
I mean, those are the things you just say to yourself, not even to your friends.
But the thing is, they pay a price. Trump didn't pay a price. That's the difference. He paid no price for anything he said.
Well, because he's the alpha male.
That's true. Yeah, the alphas get away with it.
Yeah.
You just double down, right?
Yeah.
That's the trick. You double down. You don't back up. You don't back off. Or you don't stand back or stand down.
No, people will go away.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll say, "Oh, he needs to apologize."
Yeah.
You know, he can say, he said, "No, I'm not going to apologize."
It'll be a news cycle, and then that's it.
That's it.
Especially he perfected that technique of bombarding us with so many ridiculous things, many comments. You can't keep track of them all.
No.
And you can't focus on any one because there's so many. And how much outrage can you have? You run out, become desensitized.
Yeah. I mean, now what do we say? Oh, that's just Trump.
Just Trump.
Yeah.
Trump being Trump. Whereas Hillary Clinton would, like with the deplorables comment, she didn't routinely make comments like that. And so that just sticks out, right? It's very, very much focused on. So.
Yeah, I mean, just like she said, we're going to take your jobs in West Virginia. I mean, she didn't explain what we're going to replace it with. A much better, cleaner, your lungs, you will be able to breathe. You're not going to have a black lung disease anymore.
That was a mistake.
No, yeah.
That was a tactical error, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to come. We're going to come close your job down or something like that. I can't remember exact words, but
it was like that. We're going to put you out of business or something.
Yeah.
But even if she'd explain it though, that's a cultural issue for them. Those people are coal miners. That's what generations of coal miners. So that would still be insulting to West Virginians for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if that is their reasoning that it's cultural, then we should be blacksmiths for the rest of our lives.
I'm considering it. Yeah. If this podcast doesn't go well, I'm considering blacksmithing. But that's a good point, and I don't think they see it that way.
No,
and they don't see what it would do for their economy. I mean, obviously West Virginia is very poor. They would benefit greatly from a Green New Deal program. Clean energy.
That is the thing. I mean, we don't explain the things afterwards. I mean, you say the things, okay, we're going to take your job, but explain, okay, yeah, we're going to take your job. Not even say take your job. We're going to transition you into another job.
Yeah, that's a good word.
And then people that are not able to do that, we're going to take care of you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way.
Yeah, and it'll just be that one generation anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're going to do it for everybody.
No.
Well, look, if you cannot transition, you're too old, you're infirm, we'll take care of you, all right? But the next ones, the ones, after you, no, we're going to train you.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a skilled trade, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making solar panels.
You have to do that. I mean, there was a time when we needed phone operators. We don't anymore.
Gas station attendants.
Yeah. I mean, now you go and pump your own gas, and everybody is. I mean, if somebody tries to help me, I'll be looking at them, going, "Is there something wrong?
Please back away from my car."
Yeah.
I mean, you have supermarkets where there are no employees. Right?
Yeah.
You just go in there and scan your items and leave.
Yeah.
So that's just the reality. That's Andrew Yang's argument. It's his automation.
Yeah.
And I think he did actually talk about that as well. That if you couldn't train people because they're either too old or unable to learn, then you just take care of them and you focus on the other generations.
Yep. I mean, we're gonna have to do that. I mean, there's no other way. This AI and automation, it's coming. It's going to come, and it's going to hit us pretty hard.
I mean, it's already here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we see it in factories all over the place. I mean,
we see it all the time.
Car manufacturers use robots for precision work.
Yeah.
And this is not.
I mean, in the 60s, there were two people painting one car in the same room without masks.
Yeah.
Now we can't even go outside without masks.
Or come inside a building without a. Yeah. So things are being streamlined and automated. This pandemic will accelerate that for sure. They recognize they don't need as many people.
They don't.
They don't. So it's not like it's not futurism, right? It's very present right now. So
you can see it
Yeah.
happening. I mean, we already know. I mean, we see it at our jobs every day.
yeah, I know.
And we started with more people. Now we're less and less
Yeah.
all the time, and it's going to continue.
What do they say? We're leaner now. We're leaner and meaner. That's what
Yeah,
they say, like,
and we're more efficient.
more efficient. Really, everyone works harder though.
Yeah.
We have to work harder now, right?
Yeah,
But that's the goal of corporate America. Reduce costs by any means necessary. If it means overburdening the employees, then we'll do that.
I mean, if you don't have any growth, the only way you can show profits is by cutting costs.
Yep, that's right.
And
the best way to do that
is eliminate people.
easy, because as one of my managers once said, we're expendable. I won't name names, but it was an eye-opening experience. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's the constant tension, right, between management and
The next
labor.
expendable will be, the major one is going to be the truck drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is going to hit really, really hard, because
Self-driving
that job,
trucks.
yeah, I mean, that job kind of puts you in middle class.
It does.
I mean, if
They can make six
yeah,
figures. I
Yeah.
mean, pretty easily.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's kind of hard work, but
yeah, a lot of
yeah, I
driving.
mean, it can get you, in the middle class
Yeah,
range.
Absolutely. Comfortably, I think, in the middle class.
Yeah.
But it's going to go. Driverless cars, we already have those.
Yeah.
Technology's there. It just needs to be refined. And there's no need to have people who are going to fall asleep at the wheel,
Yeah.
who are going to take breaks.
Never gonna take a break. Never gonna go on vacation.
Yeah. Just imagine how much more efficient, there's the word again, right?
Yeah.
And productive you can be. And besides that, all the profit you gain from not paying employees. Healthcare. I don't know, they probably provide healthcare in the trucking industry.
Yeah, they do.
Well, that's the next big thing as well. If you see these articles about companies dialing back on healthcare, a lot of companies are deciding that it's not worth the cost anymore to pay for healthcare.
Well, I mean, I always said that. I mean,
Yeah.
what reason do they have to provide you healthcare? They have no reason. They can decide one day, hey, that's it.
Yep. It's just the incentive to work there.
Yeah.
That's why incentivize people. But
I mean, it became a competitive edge at one time that, okay, we're going to provide healthcare and this is how we're going to compete getting, better people.
yeah.
But if every company is providing same thing, it really, there's no loyalty to a company anymore.
That's right.
And they can decide one day, hey, why should we have a $500 billion expense when we can just shove it on to the government?
When we cannot have it, right?
Yeah, I mean, Walmart does that all the time. Oh shit.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah, we can't name any
Corporate
company.
masters.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We'll edit that out too. Yeah, that's. There is no reason to, honestly. And they could all decide at once, like, we're not going to provide healthcare anymore, and then go to the open market.
Yeah.
And good luck.
mean, most of the Walmart employees are on government assistance, and we are subsidizing their profits because they don't have to pay their employees or provide health insurance or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's corporate America.
That's corporate America. You don't want a minimum wage either.
Yeah,
Right? You don't
they're
want
the job creators.
And why do they create jobs, AJ?
To cut taxes.
That's right. They create jobs in anticipation of tax cuts. Right?
Yeah.
That's why. Okay, that's an inside joke, folks. We'll get back to that later. Yeah. So a lot of issues we have to deal with. All political. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to politics. The decisions that Congress makes, regulating how corporations, treat employees, what kind of wages they pay. Yeah, that's what we have to do to make those kinds of legislative agendas.
Yeah, but the thing is, people don't realize we are subsidizing their profits.
Yeah.
I mean, if companies don't pay enough, and they have to go on government assistance or welfare,
Yeah.
We are subsidizing their profits,
Well,
and there should be a mechanism to go back, and if their employees go on welfare, just like child support, if you don't pay your child support, government comes and takes it from your paycheck, right? So we should be able to go back. If your employees are on welfare, we should be able to go back and get it from your profits.
That's interesting. So I was listening to another podcast, and somebody had called in talking about like, what's a minimum wage, right? What does that mean? What does it need to provide?
Yeah.
So the person said, well, 3 squares a day, a roof over your head, maybe a vehicle. I guess you have to determine what the standard is, right? So I pay you X amount of money, and with that you should be able to buy clothing for your family, food, shelter. How much more does it have to provide? Like, do they have to be able to buy a television or a microwave, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what is the actual parameters here where you can start saying, well, you're not paying enough, but yeah, but maybe they're driving a nice car, a Volvo. Maybe they're driving a Volvo. So that's my question. Like, how would you determine how much they pay, and like what can the employees own, right?
Well, we already know
That they're not wasting the money.
Yeah, I mean, we already know what the basic necessities of life are. You got to have shelter, you got to have food. I mean, you have to have healthcare. You need clothing, things like that. And from there, you just establish a figure, based on that, and then you should be able to take. I mean, I don't think taking a vacation is a luxury item. I mean, you should be able to be off 1 week in a year.
I mean, even Hitler thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
I mean,
I
mean, in Europe, they give you 4 weeks in a year.
It's mandatory.
It's mandatory.
You have to take,
Yeah, you have to take it. Most people don't.
No.
But you have to take 4 weeks off.
I mean, here they certainly don't.
Oh, here,
terrified.
United States, there is no concept of vacation. I mean,
the expectation is not to take it.
Yeah, they expect you to be at work every single day.
Yeah.
So I mean, to go on a vacation, I'm not saying you should be able to take a lavish vacation going to Europe, but you should be able to take 1 week off of the year to spend time with your family or with your hobbies or whatever, just get away from everyday thing and not worry about your job.
Studies have shown you're more productive anyway afterwards.
Yeah.
You're not productive working consistently week after week with no breaks.
Yeah.
It just doesn't mesh with the data. So
yeah. So I mean, establishing the minimum is not that hard. The maximum would be hard because you have no idea where the limit is, and there is no limit for the maximum. I mean, you could be living as a king of Saudi Arabia or something, or Jeff Bezos.
Or Jeff Bezos, who's richer than the king of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Could he buy Saudi Arabia? I don't know. So that's always an interesting question, I thought. How you determine that. I'd like to see the numbers on how you would come up with it. I think MIT has numbers like that.
Yeah, I mean, we already know in certain areas, of course, the cost is going to be a little more than the other places.
Yeah, California.
Yeah, but even then, you can control some of those costs. I mean, if you can provide more housing, you can bring that cost down, just like, free economy.
Yeah.
Build more houses.
Build more houses. Reduce rent. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or subsidize it, make it affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the things can be done. I mean, how do we pay for military every year? $700+ billion.
Well,
I mean, so
yeah. So we know how to do it, right?
money comes from somewhere.
It comes from somewhere. Well, I mean, we print it, right? We manufacture money out of thin air.
Yeah, we have I mean, when you own your own press,
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Not that hard. We've seen that.
I mean, things you want to pay, you pay. I mean, did you hear F-35 going down the other day in California?
No.
Yeah, it was flying on a training mission and collided with another plane.
What? I mean,
and
that's our most state-of-the-art, fighter, right?
And it went down. And this is a plane that's supposed to be. It has 8 million lines of coding or something.
Well, it should never. How did it miss another plane? What? It doesn't seem.
Well, it was refueling, mid-air refueling.
Okay.
And they're not sure if the plane in the front slowed down or F-35 sped up too fast.
So it was operator error.
It could be operator error, or it could be, F-35. It's basically a fly-by-wire system, so computer may have the input. May have there is some conflict in there, but we don't know. It just happened yesterday, so I have no idea.
I wonder if we ever will know.
We probably won't. I mean,
wouldn't think
they're gonna probably blame it on the pilots.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll take a
hit.
Yeah, he'll fall on his sword for the military.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Lockheed Martin is gonna say it was a operator error,
and then he'll disappear. And they'll wipe the internet clear of all of his data.
Yeah, he'd fly for JetBlue or Spirit or something,
or some kind of Mexican airliner. I don't know, place overseas. I know I hadn't heard that story. It just didn't seem like it should be possible. Even if it was operator error, the plane should be smart enough, right?
Yeah.
To compensate for that.
I mean, if even if the pilot is there, he should be able to input stuff that's saying, okay, hey, there's a plane in front,
Yeah, one way or the other. I mean, they should compensate for each other.
Yeah.
Apparently not. So, okay.
Even my car, hits a brake when it sees there's a car in the front now.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen I've seen it in action.
Yeah.
But not an F-35. And how much does each F-35 cost?
The actual cost is somewhere around $450 billion.
Per?
$450 million.
Per aircraft.
Yeah.
With all that money, they couldn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're not surprised, though, right?
No.
We're not surprised. Oversight.
I mean, this program has been going on since, 92, 93? It started under Clinton.
I mean, again, the goal here is always still to have, pilotless aircraft. That's the goal, right? They don't even want pilots flying these things. Another, example of how automation is taking over. That is the goal.
Drones.
Have a brain inside of a plane and let it rip.
Yeah.
No more operator errors, human errors.
So, all right, Daniel, we kind of covered a lot of the stuff today.
Yeah, we'll
again, just kind of all over the place.
We'll be more specific next time. We'll be focused on a few points, but it's important to get a feel for the.
Let's focus on a few minutes and describe our podcast. Okay. We have never done that.
We haven't done it. So, okay, you want to start?
So we call our podcast Dekorum.
Yeah.
Do you know why we are calling our podcast Dekorum?
Maybe it describes the political landscape.
Yeah.
Well, look, there's clearly a lack of decorum, right?
Yeah.
But there's also
it's only on one side, though.
On one side, but there's also an overemphasis on decorum on the other side. So it's one of those meet in the middle somewhere. It's okay to have civility. But,
there's nothing wrong with that.
But if your only argument is that they're being uncivil, that's not an argument.
Yeah, that's not an argument. I mean, you are basically conceding.
Yeah, you're conceding. Yeah.
So. And that's the reason we wanted to start this podcast, was describe everyday politics from a everyday type of Joes.
Yeah.
Not everything is black and white or red and blue.
It's not just economics, or it's not just
not just socialist
or social issues.
Yeah.
They are for everybody else. I mean, those things are all they're combined, right?
Yeah.
It's like we'll take a holistic approach.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about right. The way we will approach politics the way everyone else does.
Yeah.
People who aren't professionals, we're not pundits.
We're not. We're not gonna analyze everything.
No.
We're not gonna give you our opinion on everything, but we are gonna say the way we see it, and the way it sounds to us.
Yeah, that's right. We might be wrong, right?
Yeah, we probably are.
Probably are.
Probably are in starting this podcast.
It's a learning process. We'll all learn together, right?
Yeah.
And we'll be fact checked, certainly.
Most likely.
Yeah, and we welcome that as well.
Probably have some conspiracy theories thrown at us.
Yep. Yeah. What is our real agenda, right?
Yeah.
And I think later on we'll get into more specifics on where we stand on certain issues. That'll be, down the road. But it's like an observational podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to be observing what's happening in the country and the world. And
talking to other people.
We'll have guests on the show as well.
Yeah.
And get their perspective.
We'll go from there and have some fun.
And exercise some decorum.
Obviously, it's not going to be a serious talk.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have people on, and we'll have
disagreements.
And we'll still be friends.
That's right. Yeah.
At least in front of the camera.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah. All right. So until next week.